welcome dear students. Certainly you are all well. I am very fine, dear students. However, today's class is for the especially for the students of class 9. Now we can see this is a scenery. So what can we see on this screen? Here, the scenery of roaring rivers. Certainly, you have seen this scenery because this is a very latest picture and latest scenery. The scenery of roaring rivers, Madaripur, 2020. Okay, dear students. So, today's lesson, I have declared here today's lesson. Unit 5, Nature and Environment. Nature and Environment. Lesson 1. Lesson 1. The Great of the Roaring Rivers. The Great of the Roaring Rivers. Krishna Karmokar, Senior Teacher, Prespur Town High School. Here we can see our learning outcomes. After we have studied this lesson, we will be able to know the great of the roaring rivers, ask and answer questions, and take part in debates on given topics, and write letters to newspaper highlighting certain problems. Okay, dear students? Of course, you have understood clearly that after we have studied this lesson, we will be able to know the great of the roaring rivers. Okay, dear students, what can we see on this screen? Very pathetic river erosion. This is a scene of very pathetic river erosion. Do you know what's the erosion? This is erosion. This is erosion. Padma erosion in Shariatpur, 2000, it's very recently picture. So, Padma erosion in Shariatpur, 2020. And this is a picture of a slum area and a woman in Bangladesh like Meherjan. Today we have discussed a topic, nature and environment, and there is a story of Meherjan. So, we have collected this picture like Meherjan. So, we can see on the screen a woman, and we also think that this is a symbol and this is a representation of a woman who is Meherjan, because today's story is about Meherjan. Now, we have discussed new words regarding this lesson: slum, embankment, shelter, tremble, whisper, unsteady, turmoil, and erosion, demolish. Now we can see the Bangla meaning of these words. Slum, what do you mean slum? We can see on the screen, bosti. And embankment, what do you know about embankment? Now we can see on the screen, the Bangla meaning of embankment is bath. And what do you mean shelter? Shelter's Bangla meaning is ashroy. And what do you mean tremble, and tremble means in Bangla kapa অথবা কম্পন, and the Bangla meaning of whisper, fish fish করা, Bangla meaning of whisper, fish fish করা, and Bangla meaning of unsteady, নড়বড়ে, নড়বড়ে, unsteady, and Bangla meaning of turmoil, turmoil, that means বিশৃঙ্খলা, turmoil, বিশৃঙ্খলা. And what do you mean? Erosion, erosion, that means Bangla meaning of erosion is ক্ষয় or ভেঙে যাওয়া. We have seen a picture before some time. There is a picture of erosion. Demolish, ধ্বংস করা, demolish, we can see on this picture. What is the Bangla meaning of demolish? ধ্বংস করা. Okay, dear students, we have to remember these words very attentively, because if we enriches our vocabulary, of course we have to answer all kinds of questions regarding this topic, and to know very clearly that we have a question, and a question will be set for your SSC examination or your final examination or any kind of examination relating to your academic examination, and there is a question of seen comprehension and unseen comprehension. So if we want to answer all kinds of questions regarding this topic, of course we have to know the Bangla meaning, and we have to enrich our vocabulary regarding this topic. So if we want to enrich our vocabulary, we have to read newspaper regularly. Okay, dear students. Now it's a topic of reading test about Meherjan. Now we have to study and we have to read about Meherjan. Lesson 1. Meherjan lives in a slum on the Shirazganj town protection embankment. Her polythene roofed shelter looks like a case. She is nearly 45 but looks more than her age. Okay, dear students. In front of her shelter, she is trying to make a fire to cook. The day's only meal, her weak hands tremble as she adds some fallen leaves and straw to the fire. The whispering wind from the river Jamuna makes the fire unsteady. The dancing of the flames reminds Meherjan of the turmoil in her life. Okay, dear students, there is another portion of reading test, so you have to read very attentively from your textbook, and let's go to another page. Now it's a time for pair work, but there is no scope to make a pair work, so we have to go to the another page. And now it's a topic of evaluation. Fill in the gaps without clues. You know it very clearly that filling gaps, it may be without clues or it may be with clues. Now it's a point. Now we watch a video of river erosion in Bangladesh. Please, dear students or dear learners, please watch this video very carefully and attentively, and we will see the original picture of river erosion in Bangladesh. Okay, dear students, please watch it.
Back on board the Chitty, we set sail again for Dhaka. Following the Padma River, we skirted the Tropic of Cancer on our way to the capital. The boundary between water and land is blurry in Bangladesh. Almost the entire country is just a few meters above an already rising sea level. The main reason why global climate change threatens Bangladesh more than any other country in the world. One thing you really do see immediately about certainly this area, but I know Bangladesh generally, as you can see there's no rocks by the edge of the river, it's just pure mud. And because it's mud, The land's not only at risk from annual floods and tropical cyclones, it's also constantly being eroded by the huge rivers. Well, you can see the bank is getting ready to collapse. Hang on, what are these white bags here?
They're trying to stop the erosion. You can see they're putting the bags there.
Oh my god, they're using them, these are sand, they're using them as sandbag. Oh my god, look, they're chucking them into the water edge there to try and save the land. We've got to stop. Can we, is there any way we can stop around here?
Stop. Yeah.
Look, there's another one going there. Desperately trying to shore up the riverbank. Look, it's falling away right now, right as we're approaching. This whole bank here is now really going, and they're working faster and faster because this is their land they're going to lose. I can't see how they're going to save this. What was that?
There's another big chunk.
Oh my God! Who here lives close to the edge? Who's worried that they're going to lose their home? So this gentleman here, where does he live? Can we ask him?
This is a very terrible erosion in Bangladesh. Dear students, please watch it very carefully, and this is a very
destroyed all our crops and
pathetic scenery in Bangladesh.
it's taken the food from our mouths.
As more ballast arrived for sandbags, locals told us that in the past fortnight the river had eaten 500 yards into their village. In the past 4 years it's taken 2,000 homes in this community alone. This was the devastating effects of climate change happening right in front of my eyes. Perfectly natural for there to be erosion of a riverbank by the river, but scientists are absolutely convinced that what's happening in Bangladesh is an increased rate of river erosion, partly or largely caused by an increasing melt in the Himalayas, in the mountains from which this river has its source.
Our dear learners, we watched a very pathetic river erosion, and we saw a young man. He is a foreigner, and he described it very.
The rate of erosion speeding up. Do people talk about the fact that the erosion is happening faster and faster?
It's been happening for a long time, but now it's getting faster and it's coming closer. When we want to sleep, we can't, because we're scared by the noise of the land falling into the river. It sounds like shooting. Boom, boom.
Scenes like this are now repeated on a daily basis across Bangladesh. Increased erosion makes 100,000 people homeless every year, turning them into environmental refugees. But this could be just the beginning of a climate catastrophe on a biblical
Our dear
scale.
learners, we watched
Even a
this
small
video,
rise in sea
and
levels
let's
would
come to
devastate
our
millions here.
class. Our dear students, evaluation. Fill in the gaps without clues. Fill in the gaps without clues. Okay, dear students. It finally dashed her last shelter during the last monsoon. It dashed the river only a day to dash Meher's house, trees, vegetable garden and the bamboo bush. She dashed a happy family once. Over the years, she lost her husband and her family. To teach is that cruel hunger and poverty dashed to the family. Okay, dear students, now you should fill in the gaps. Now there are two kinds of filling gaps. One is with clues and one is without clues. Now this is for without clues. It finally. Now we should find the answer and we should try which word is appropriate for this gap. Now our work is to find out the real and exact words to fill in the gaps. Now number A, claimed, and number B, took, number C, demolish, number D, had, and number E, brought. Okay, dear learners, these words are appropriate for filling gaps. Now answer the following questions. Answer the following questions. Where does Meherjan live? What does Meherjan use to make fire for cooking her meals? And question 3. What property did Meherjan lose due to river erosion? What do you know about Meherjan's family? Okay, dear students, now realize these questions very attentively. Where does Meherjan live? Now you should write the answers. Where does Meherjan live? Meherjan lives in a slum on the Shirazganj town protection embankment. Meherjan lives in a slum on the Shirazganj town protection embankment. And the answer, question number 2, Meherjan uses some fallen leaves and straw to make fire for cooking her meals. And the answer, question number 3, Meherjan lost her house, cultivable land, cattle, vegetable garden and family due to river erosion. And question number 4, there is not much described in the text about Meherjan's family, but we came to know that she lost her family due to river erosion. Her husband and other family members died of disease that hunger and poverty brought to the family. Okay, dear students, now this is a part of homework. Now you will write on your khata. Suppose you are Onik and your friend is Onika. Now write a dialogue between you and your friend about the river erosion of Bangladesh. Okay, dear learners, please remember it. Suppose you are Onik and your friend is Onika. Now write a dialogue between you and your friend about the river erosion of Bangladesh. Okay, dear students, of course you will do it very attentively, and I hope that all the learners will do better in the examination. Okay, dear students, goodbye. Remember that failure is the pillar of success. Thank you.